Good morning. Welcome to the August 10th, 2022 Muncie Board of Sanitary Commissioners meeting for the Muncie Sanitary District. I hope everybody's well. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Ask you to rise with me and please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. Roll call, we have one excused absence today. That is David Smith. Everyone else is present, and we do have a quorum, so we'll continue on with our normal course of business today. Going through our agenda, our first item up is the consideration of the July 27th board meeting minutes. These were sent out previously. Once again, nice job, Maggie. Thank you. Anybody wishing to make any corrections or clarifications? If not, I would accept a motion to approve as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Adam, a second by Tanya. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. The meeting minutes are approved 3-0. We'll move on to the consideration of the register of claims for this period totaling $1,087,183.32. These were also sent out previously with some explanation, which I appreciate. Anybody wishing to clarify any of these claims for the benefit of the public?
I do. There's on page 4 of 16, you'll see $136,800 paid to Best Equipment Company, and that's for a new small trash truck used for the downtown area. And as I learned from Mr. Barlow, that will actually be we'll be using that one downtown, and then the truck that we were using downtown can be our backup and for some other special projects. So that was a large claim, wanted to make sure everyone knew about. Page 5 of 16, under engineering, we have a $24,000 claim to Yardberry, and that's for work done on eBright. We have a $45,098 claim to All American Chevrolet, and that's a new truck for engineering. And we have a $15,120 claim for work done on Woodway. And then the other one I wanted to point out is on page 9 of 16, Smith Family Services, the mowing contract for $15,100. That's for mow number 8. And then you'll also see an additional $1,000 claim. That's for what we agreed on last week, that we've asked them to do some additional mowing. And so that $1,000 is paid for that mowing they have done in the past. Again, we approved that last week. And those are the only ones I wanted to point out.
Thank you. Adam?
Just one, page 15 of 16. To the U.S. Post Office, we paid them $5,541.55. So that is a non-zero cost associated with our blue bag program, where we're basically just sending everyone the coupons to get their blue bags. But worth noting that that money does go out. That's all I have.
No other comments. I would accept a motion to approve the register of claims as submitted.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Tanya, second by Adam. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Claims are approved. Moving into old business, we have back on the agenda the consideration of the contract renewal for PSC and Associates. John Barlow, if you recall, at our last meeting, John asked us to remove this from the agenda and to postpone it until today.
John Barlow, District Administrator. Good morning.
Good morning.
As you said, Steve and I had this contract tabled at the last meeting in lieu of some additional information we wanted to get. Chuck Ward of PSC has sent me some good information regarding the history of PSC's work with Muncie Sanitary District regarding stormwater, impervious surfaces, assessments, and billing for us. And so just a little background, they started in 2006 to calculate the impervious areas of over 3,000 improved commercial, industrial, and exempt properties for MSD. They also, in 2008, did an additional 359 properties for Yorktown. Yorktown, the county, Ivy Tech, they all fall under the entity of, including MSD, of our MS4. So that's our stormwater, and that's part of the billing. In 2014, PSC started the billing process for us regarding these properties. So we've had 4-year contracts with PSC services since 2014. This would be a new renewal of those contracts. The amount initially for the new contract would be $18,500 annually. That's paid by us in 2 payments. And it's an increase of 5% per year, and it has been since 2014 on their terms. The 5% increase every year, and then that's also, they also have per diem rates in their contract, so if there's any additional services, they have the amount that they would charge us that would be outside the contract scope. So I am asking the board to allow me to, authorize me to renew the contract with PSC Services for the next term.
Okay, thank you, John. Tanya, any comments or questions?
Just some comments. The automatic renewal happens July 1st,
Yes,
right, 2023.
Correct.
And then we do have in here the fees for each year, which are the 5% increase. And then under additional services is where you see the per hourly rate for certain services, such as clerical, appraisal staff, consultant, so forth. So just pointing that out.
and those are items that I didn't have in the information, or some of that additional scopes charges were not in the last contract, so I wanted to make sure they were in there before we actually brought that to the board.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, John. Thank you.
Adam?
No questions.
Okay. Any reason to have legal review this?
It's the same contract
Same.
we've had,
Okay.
so I don't believe so.
Okay. So your request is for us to approve you to sign a 4-year
That is correct.
contract? Okay. If there's no further discussion, I would accept a motion to approve the 4-year contract as requested by John.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Tanya, second by Adam. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. You're authorized.
Thank you.
Yep. Next is RFP for legal services. Tanya.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
One of the things that we had discussed, I'm going to say a month ago, we're looking for a legal services provider, is we wanted to continue evaluating if we had new information. And so I wanted to make the board aware that I do have new information. My colleagues had mentioned that one of the advantages of doing business with a different firm was the number of attorneys that they had. And so I learned that McKinney and Company has added an additional attorney on staff. So I went and met with that gentleman. He, unprompted, was sharing with me that he hopes to specialize in, or intends to specialize in, some employment law. And to me, that was an opportunity for us to improve. And I certainly saw that as McKinney adding to their suite of expertise. Because today, as you know, we go out to a different firm for any employment work. So I saw that as a positive. McKinney and Company has added, in addition to the 3 primary attorneys they have on staff, they've added a 4th. That gentleman wants to specialize in employment law. I see that as a benefit for us. He's not there yet. It will take him some time to ramp up his skills, obviously. But I saw that as a benefit, and I wanted to share that with the board and let you know that McKinney has added some staff and expertise. So,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, any questions for me?
Adam?
No.
Nope. What's the gentleman's name?
Vincent Walker.
Vincent Walker.
Yeah. So Mr. Walker has just been there he's been there under a month. He has been a public defender, has worked in Delaware County for DCS for some time. So I think he brings a new skill set. And I was pleasantly surprised to hear that he has also done some work for us, had done some research for Mark McKinney, who had done presented some things to us. So he was familiar with the Sanitary District.
Gotcha. Thank you.
The other thing that I just wanted to point out, as I was considering this, often we'll have providers in the audience. You know, if we're having a mowing bid, the folks who want to bid on that work will be in the audience so that we can ask them questions. Or if we're going to do some contracting work, many times the contractors or the engineers or, different firms will be in the audience for us to be able to ask them questions. And I've not seen any of these other firms present. Perhaps they're watching online, which is absolutely fine. But I think it's important that a relationship of this significance, that you be present so that we could ask questions just like any other provider who might be here. So for that reason, if I may, Mr. President, I would move to approve or make a motion to approve McKinney and Company's RFP for legal services.
I have a motion to approve McKinney and Company's RFP legal services by Tanya. Do I have a second? I will, I'm not going to second the motion today. I think that with our fellow board member Smith out, it's probably not the right way to move forward to play the math game. I appreciate Tanya's due diligence and I appreciate her motion, but I'm not going to second the motion today. I would rather it be a unanimous decision by the entire board. I think that's the right thing to do. So without a second, I believe the motion will lay on the table. Is that right, Drew? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome.
District Administrator update, John Barlow.
Good morning again. A couple of updates. Washington Street has been paved to the east past the academy, I believe. There's some more work to do at the very end, but the majority of the street has been paved and is accessible. And so far, so good with the work that was done. We wanted to get the work done in a certain time frame for the folks over there, and I believe we had great communication between the Neighborhood Association and Bowen, and so wanted to report on that. Conversely, Jackson Street is still closed, the crossing there at College, and my understanding from Bowen that they estimate another 4 weeks probably. I think they're being conservative. They always are trying to be on a closure, but if we get done quicker than that, all the better. But I wanted to give an update on that because I know that it's a major thoroughfare and school starting and so forth and so on. But the estimate this morning I received was probably another 4 weeks. I want to give credit to the brainchild of board member Adam Leach regarding this Touch-a-Truck event that we had last Friday. It was, we started at 10 o'clock. At 10:01, 1 second, we had big groups of people in here, and that went on pretty much all day up until closing. We had Unk's Barbecue there. I know that they supplied over 250 hot dogs. Those were all gone, as well as the meatloaf dogs. Barking Cow supplied probably 300 plus servings of ice cream. Those were gone. We don't have an exact number of people out here, but that just kind of gives you an idea how well attended it was. Kids just loved it. They loved getting in those vehicles. They loved honking the horns of those vehicles as much as they could possibly do, but that was the fun that they were having. City, MFD, MPD, Muncie Sanitary District, we all had exhibits out there, vehicles, SWAT team vehicles, boats, big trucks, trailers, sweepers, vectors, everything you could think of we had out there, and it was a great event. And again, that was all Adam's brainchild, and it was really easy to put together. We just needed a spot and just tell people where to come and park their exhibits, and it worked out well. And we think that we'd like to probably try to make this an annual event based on the turnout. We may be able to try to coordinate it with try to coordinate with Jason Donati a little bit and maybe try to coordinate it with the Camp Prairie Creek if that works, whether it does or doesn't. But we've got some other ideas to how to maybe even improve this. So I was out there all day long. Received a nice sunburn on my forehead from just walking around out there, but it was a great event. So just wanted to tell everybody about that. It is the season. 'Tis the season for move-outs and move-ins over on campus. Anybody who's driven through there knows. I would just urge folks that if you're moving out and you're putting out couches and beds and mattresses, you know, you can call sanitation. They can come over with a Peterson and get this stuff. You know, we appreciate it if you let us know so we can kind of get it scheduled. It can be a mess over there. I get it. I've been there, done that. So just to kind of give everybody a heads up. I know there's only so much control when people move out. Sometimes they move out with notice. Sometimes they move out without notice. So just a heads up for everyone there. And that's all I have. I'll entertain any questions.
Thank you, John. Tanya, any comments or questions?
No, thank you.
Yep. Adam?
I'll just comment. Once again, I appreciate everybody at MSD and all the things they did for our Touch Truck event, and definitely our employees being out there and getting to engage with the public, and kind of show them what everybody does every day, day in, day out for a living, and made a lot of kids happy. And there's always things we can improve. I think the addition of portalettes will be something I will include next year, but much like John, I had an excellent sunburn, but for the most part, it was a great event, and I appreciate the MSD employees and, of course, the city employees that were out there doing it. And I think we made a great impression on a lot of young people who will hopefully slow down for the guys that work on the side of the road, or appreciate their sanitation guy that's getting their trash out, or the Bureau of Water Quality boat was also very popular. So, and of course, it was also good that our employees got to attend it. I know Tim was enjoying the ice cream, so it was a good time for everybody. So I appreciate everybody's hard work on it. That's all I have.
Thank you, John.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. Under new business, item number 1, Muncie Sanitary District right-of-way dedication for the city of Muncie. Adam.
Yes, so this was an item that was basically John Anderson led the drafting of it. McKinney and Company handled the legal part of it. Beasley Gilchrist, the city's attorney, also reviewed it. This is for the dedication of a right-of-way easement along Hoyt for a MSD property. Essentially, this cleans up the right-of-way so that we don't have any outstanding property in the actual roadway. Board of Public Works passed it last week. Really all it needs is MSD's signature, and we can get it filed. And then I believe the plan for the property, which will follow with a resolution, would be for basically the MSD to divest itself of that property shortly. So this is a cleanup item before we start divesting ourselves of that property.
Okay. Tanya, any comments or questions?
No.
None for me either. If there's no other conversation, accept a motion to approve the right-of-way dedication for the city of Muncie as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
Go ahead.
Yeah, second.
Motion by Adam, second by Tanya. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose the same. It is approved. Final item under new business is consideration of a level 365 contract with the Muncie Sanitary District as our telephone provider. John?
One of the things on upgrading our communication system that came to fruition when we had our outage several months ago was our telephones. They are currently server-based proprietary phones, and so Tim Stover at IT, they've been evaluating, and the way to safeguard our communication for our customers is to go to a cloud-based phone setup. And so that being said, regardless of what provider we would use, we would be looking to replace our current hardware of phones Part of Tim's evaluation was to do an audit through the departments. We found that there were 11 phone sets, desk sets, if you will, that we can eliminate that aren't being used anymore or used very, very rarely. And so, in addition to that, we're looking to use some new phones that are not proprietary. In other words, any provider we use could work on them and they would be able to be utilized as opposed to the sets that we have now, which are proprietary. Excuse me. And then that being said, we've compared our current provider, Gibson, with Level 365, and we have we are recommending to use Level 365 for the provider and the supplier of the phones. There's a cost savings here of over $6,000 for the hardware. It's a month-to-month contract as opposed to a 3-year contract. There is no cost for any kind of support use we use for Level 365. The licenses are pretty much the same for those, but again, there's a substantial savings in phone sets. The county, Kyle Johnson at GIS, and the county uses Level 365, so we're able to go ahead and ask them what the service was like. They were very, very complimentary of Level 365 in responsiveness and the service. And LEAP, who's our internet support group, also has a relationship with Level 365. Tim and Dustin have done the legwork on this. They've done the evaluations and the comparisons. And so I met with them. And at this point in time, I'm asking the board to, in lieu of pending legal review, an approval to use Level 365 as our next provider and phone supplier. And then our contract with Gibson is up at the end of September. It requires a 30-day notice. So again, pending legal review, then we will go through the steps to switch providers at that point in time so that Level 365 has time to go ahead and implement our services so we don't obviously have any kind of lapse in phone communication.
Thank you, John.
Questions?
Tanya, any comments or questions?
Just a comment to Tim and team. You've worked really hard to ensure that we don't have another outage or downtime like we have experienced in the past. And so we as a board would like to say thank you for that. It's very important. And as I understand, this new phone system allows us, because it's cloud-based, our customers can still reach us if there is some sort of event that would cause the internet to go down. We're still open, functioning, because we'll be going to cloud service, correct?
Yes, and they'll be able to answer through a
Thank you, Tim. You can come on up here and help elaborate.
yes. Excuse me. And with them being cloud-based, along comes with that would be an app that could go on a cell phone. So even if a desk phone did not ring, that app through a cell phone would ring. And going along with that, we're going to have backup internet at all. Excuse me. At all 3 sites. So should the primary internet go down for whatever reason, the backup internet built here at City Hall and at sanitation would kick in, so that phone would fail over to that backup internet. So there's 2 levels of security there to keep that phone to be able to ring. And we have a cradle point that would be a third, which would be cellular. Should both both primary backup go down, we would have that third relief going in.
I think that's outstanding because we need customers to be able to reach us in the time of need, right?
And
Whether that
currently, we have the red phones throughout any department that has interaction with the public. Like right now, if the network went down, that cell phone would still ring. And that's in place right now, currently.
Very good, very good. I just wanted to say thank you, good work. I'm very supportive of this, but I wanted the opportunity to say thanks.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Adam?
Tim, just give me a moment to expose my ignorance. So I just want to make sure I kind of get the logistics of this down. So currently we use a voice over internet protocol type phone, which ties directly into the internet, fiber, Cat5, whatever we got there. So these cloud-based phones are a little different from that in that they'll still have that VoIP connection, but then if that VoIP fails, it'll go over to like a wireless type setup, or does it have to, two separate fiber lines on the backside, or is...
It'll still be, they can still be plugged into our network, but with it being cloud-based phone, should we go back like with COVID again, if we total shut down, these cloud-based phones, all they need is internet access.
Okay.
So realistically, the user took this phone, took it to any public hotspot, they could take it home, and they would be answering the phone just like they were in the office.
Okay. And that's, just to elaborate on that, most of our modern cell phones will have hotspots. So long as they could also, kind of connect into that, that's a third layer of security beyond having, one internet, two internet, if both internets and the cellular system are down, well, we've got big problems, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of layers for everything to fail. So that's good. So I appreciate
To get that redundancy, that reliability, we were gonna have to go to a new phone anyway, because our current phones, like Sean had mentioned, are proprietary phones. We're paying proprietary license to Mitel for these phones, and they go back to our server, and then they go out. Cloud-based, they're not gonna be bouncing back to our server. So any network issues, they're still gonna reign.
Very good. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Adam. So looking for a motion to approve John to sign a contract with Level 365 for MSD's telephone service provider.
I will make that motion pending legal review of the contract.
Thank you, Adam, for the clarification. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second by Tanya. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional board topics? Tanya,
I don't have anything this month, thank you, or this week.
you're welcome. Adam?
As always, thanks to our staff and employees for doing an excellent job, and for the public, keep fogs in mind. Fats, oil, greases. Our plant does not like them. Our collection system does not like them. So lard, butter, vegetable oil, sanitary products, please don't flush them. Put them in the trash. And I know sanitation's probably not a huge fan of them either, but it's still better than them going through the plant. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. I don't have any additional board topics. So we've moved to the point of the agenda where we would accept public comment. Anybody wishing to make public comment can approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. Yep, go ahead, come on up.
It doesn't have to be anything to do with what you were talking about so far, right?
Nope, you can say whatever you want. So long as it's polite. We do have an FCC license here.
There you go. My name is Charles Richardson. I'm a retired union electrician, and I took my money and bought a house here in Muncie, and that was the worst mistake I ever made. I've been flooded. My house has been flooded 3 times because the drainage system comes down Meeker and it drains right in front of my house, and instead of the water going in, it comes out. And this last time it's done, I've got quotes for over $30,000 damage. It's only a 10-inch pipe, which if these people, if they're engineers or whatever, could figure this out, you can only move so much water through a 10-inch pipe. This was put in many years ago. And there's a big pipe underneath of Burlington there, the way I understand it. So it's less than 100 feet to fix this whole problem. They have totally trashed my house with this water. This last time, which was a few weeks ago here, I think it was July 17th, I got pictures of water in my living room. I got people swimming in my yard, okay? This is totally uncalled for, and this is the 3rd time that I've been dealing with these people. They all need fired. Everybody involved there needs fired. They are not doing their job. They've had a year, and what have they done? Nothing at all. I've been flooded 3 times. I've called them each and every time to get them out there to look at it. I mean, cars drive down the road, and the water's up to the hood, and people's got to push them out of the way. It's just ridiculous. They just need fired. All involved needs fired. And I am going to do a tort claim to get this repairs done this time. They got away with it the other 2 times, but not this time. It's too much damage this time. The carpet's all full of water in the living room. The bathtub, toilet's overflowing. It's just totally ridiculous, man. Totally, totally ridiculous. And it's all because these people failing to change this pipe out. That's all it would take, is changing that pipe from that point, because the water comes down there no problem from the rest of the road. I'm near the corner, and that's where it all comes out. It does not go in. Yet they want me to pay money every month for stormwater, but I don't want that water coming into my house. So they need to do something about it. It's ridiculous, totally, totally ridiculous.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Can you tell me what your address is?
1121 South Burlington Drive.
Thank you.
Would you guys take a look at these pictures?
Yeah, if you'll raise them up here, I'll distribute. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address the board? You can approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you've got 3 minutes.
Well, my name's Tim Quakenbush. I own DAG Supply here in Muncie. I got a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but only one will fit in 3 minutes. The Muncie Sanitary District seems to employ large contractors to do a lot of work for them all at once, like Bowen Engineering. I get some residual business from a local contractor which subs off of that contractor. We have a project going up 14th and Birch in that area. There's been a slow payment issue on that job, and I'm here to find out where my money's at. It's, put my glasses on. This job was originally quoted back in early spring. We have a situation in this environment with pricing, escalating costs, that if you don't secure this material in a very quick fashion, then you're going to pay more for it. This original project was $337,000 for us on materials. There's $190,000 worth of pipe on this job. That pipe originally was quoted at that $190,000. Within 15 days, that pipe could have escalated over 30% if we didn't get it ordered and put on the job. So this pipe has been on this job since May. The contractor, out of that $337, still owes us $232,000. And I've got 3 companies wanting lien information for this project, and they're also actually shutting off my credit as we speak. I've been in business for 35 years. DAG Supply has been there since 1906. And this city does not practice what it preaches. They do not buy local. They do not consider local. And I am in a real pickle because I'm going to have to lock my doors real soon.
Thank you, Tim. You said that you're contracted through a sub?
Yes,
So it's your sub that's not paying you?
that's correct.
I got you.
I've done some homework. Bowen's been paid $3.5 million, $3.8 million since June the 1st. And my sub's telling me they're not getting their money.
Okay.
I put this material on the job in good faith. I put it on the job probably a little early and a little fast, but as I explained in this, if you don't get it on the job, we all start increasing in cost. All I'm trying to do is save the city money and make a living. And they're making it really, really hard for me to do. I've got other issues with Bowen Engineering that I'd like to talk about, but I can't do it in 3 minutes, and I don't think this is the place.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. We will look into that today.
Thank you.
Thank you for making us aware. Anybody else wishing to make public comment can approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none, our next regularly scheduled meeting will be on Wednesday, August 24th at the same time, 11:30 a.m. right here in City Hall Auditorium. I would accept a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Adams, second by Tanya to adjourn today. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Meeting adjourned. Have a safe day.